The vampire action thriller movie Blade Reboot, which is produced by Marvel and scheduled to release on November 3rd, 2023, recently lost Bassam Tariq as its director. The question going through everyone's mind will be, really? What happened? How did Bassam take it? All these questions and more will be answered in this video. First up, how was the Blade created? The creation of Blade started with writer Marv Wolfman and artist Gene Colan for the 1973's movie The Tomb of Dracula No. 10. He was created to be a half-mortal, half-immortal who hunts vampires down in a bid to avenge the death of his mother, who was killed by a vampire as she gave birth to him. The role of Blade was originally played by Wesley Snipes in the trilogy that was released in the early 2000s. The role of the Daywalker Blade will be played by Mahershala Ali alongside Delroy Lindo and Aaron Pierre, Krypton star. The Blade is a movie project announced in 2019 with a lot of publicity at San Diego Comic-Con. It can be considered to be among Marvel's most expected films since the studio made its announcement. Nonetheless, Blade has partially made its Marvel Cinematic Universe debut, along with movies like Werewolf by Night, Doctor Strange sequel, and WandaVision TV show, because he spoke in Eternals. Mahershala Ali, in 2021's Eternals, made an unexpected video cameo in a post-credit scene where he mentioned that Marvel is balanced to analyze a horror side to the MCU. Next, why is Bassam no longer the director? During an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, THR, Marvel announced that Bassam Tariq will no longer be going on with the post of director, but as an executive producer of the film because of continued shifts in the production schedule. Bassam was also appreciated for his effort and talent in getting Blade to where it is presently. Tariq made his statement when he thanked Marvel by saying that it was an honor working with the outstanding people of Marvel, who joined hands with him in putting together a great cast and crew. He also said that he is enthusiastic to see where the subsequent director will take the film. Sources made it open to the public that Blade has shifted its start of production once or twice. It has also been said that Blade has undergone a series of script rewrites. In contrast, Stacey Osei Kuffour, who wrote the initial script that Tariq worked on in 2021, was replaced by Beau DeMayo as the current writer. Beau DeMayo worked on shows like The Witcher, his animated feature spin-off, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and Marvel's Moon Knight. The director's departure happened at a time when Marvel was preparing to release its first horror-themed project, a Halloween special titled Werewolf by Night, which was released on Disney Plus on October 7th, 2022. Finally, what will happen in Marvel? The future of the movie Blade Reboot is very uncertain due to the recent development. The movie was scheduled to begin shooting in Atlanta by November. However, with the absence of Bassam Tariq, who has been at the helm of affairs since 2021, no one knows what the future of Blade will look like. A lot of critics are saying that Bassam Tariq dropping his role as Blade's director spells doom on Marvel. They are all asking the same questions, like, will the new director be able to hold things? Will he match up to Bassam in terms of directing? Let's all keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best. Next, in other related news, She-Hulk actor John Bass talks about a twisty season finale, becoming an MCU villain. In the show She-Hulk, John Bass takes up the role of Todd Phelps, an improbable villain who leads an online troll group whose main target is She-Hulk, played by Tatiana Maslany. He is Hulk King, the creator of Intelligentsia, an online precinct of disenfranchised and web trolls hell-bent on hating Jen Walters, Tatiana Maslany, or She-Hulk because they are fueled by the revulsion of a woman in power. The group Intelligentsia is out to defame Jen, but with a hidden agenda of stealing her blood so that they can have her Hulk powers. John Bass praised the head writer Jessica Gao for a job well done. He praised her on how she steered the storyline as smoothly as possible from the action and comedy parts. She also received a huge thumbs up for how she tackled topics like misogyny and sexism in the story. All this was done while observing the show's final episode by John Bass. In his interview with The Hollywood Reporter, he comments that it is a fortunate thing to be a part of something funny, but not so over the edge that it hits you on the head. He pointed out that he knows there's a point to the strategies used in the movie, because getting the cross-section just right was a very hard thing to do. John said that having an intelligent person like Jessica Gao at the helm of affairs, who does not just understand Marvel and writing, but understands human nature and comedy, is equivalent to having a good show with money and time. If you still want an insight into this movie, then stick with me until the end. Let's dive into it. Do you know that Todd, Bass's character, almost succeeded with his scheme, but just after he injected himself with Jen's blood and hulked out, She-Hulk puts the story on hold, literally. And now, what happened earlier in the season? Now that we have partial knowledge of the show, let's talk about the earlier events in the show. Earlier in the season, The Hollywood Reporter assessed Disney Plus's series' influence on the future of MCU's, Marvel Cinematic Universe's, fourth wall, along with MCU's upcoming debut of the notorious fourth wall breaker Deadpool, starring Ryan Reynolds. What went on in the final episode goes beyond any fourth wall break in the history of Marvel. Apparently, Jen waltzes into She-Hulk's writer's room, demanding to see Kevin. You're probably thinking, isn't Kevin the name of Marvel's head? Well, to answer that, Kevin in She-Hulk is K-E-V-I-N. He is an artificial intelligence robot that controls the MCU storylines. This part was commented on by John Bass when he mentioned that on reading the final script for the first time, his mind was truly melting. He mentions that throughout his script reading period, he went from, "Oh my god, I'd turn into a Hulk," to, "Oh my god, she's talking to an AI Kevin and taking away my Hulk powers." He said it was a pretty wild experience. Bass admits to the fact that he is still processing his shock at becoming a Hulk, even if it was just for a limited period. He then adds these words: "In this world that we have now lived in for 15 years, it is like we have gotten to a point where meta has become meta, and we can have fun with that." Bass talks about the future of Todd's powers, encountering the real Kevin Feige, and being the canonically shortest Hulk in the MCU. Thank you for sticking to this video. But now that you have gotten to this point, let's have an insight into what nearly happened with She-Hulk's writer. Lastly, She-Hulk head writer nearly quit. This is almost like a recurrent situation in Marvel, where a director or writer leaves a project midway. Still, thankfully, the scuffle between the two creatives did not escalate to that point. To find out more, stick with me till the end of this video. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, the head writer of She-Hulk, attorney at law Jessica Gao, recalls the incident during the movie's production. Kevin Feige had to encourage her and the writer's room to convert the story's ending from a showdown with a baddie She-Hulk to Marvel's show ending with the artificial intelligence robot named K-E-V-I-N. She said that she battled with herself on what to end the show with. She said that she is grateful to Kevin for freeing her of her thinking of making sure that all of Marvel's movies have the same conventional ending. Jessica also admitted to the point where she butted heads with Kevin Feige over the robot's detailing. She said that she initially wanted the robot to wear a baseball hat as a memory of Feige's trademark hats. This suggestion, however, did not sit well with Kevin, who felt that a robot does not necessarily need to wear a hat because its creator wears hats. He went further to make her choose between sticking to her guns or exiting the project. Seeing a lot of tension over this conversation, Jackson Z, head of the Viz Dev team, suggests embodying into the robot something that would look like the robot was wearing a hat. This statement was the tension diffuser between Jessica and Kevin, because neither of them was willing to back down for the other. And this is where we draw the curtain. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. Kindly leave your observations in the comment section. We hope to see you in our next video. Bye!